Welcome to A Bridge Between Nations, abbn.com. Today's video is about what is translation equipment. Translation equipment, interpretation equipment. Just three different names for the same thing, but what is it? We get a lot of calls from people who say,
we want to buy an interpreting system,
but we've got no idea where to start. There are just so many options and we just haven't a clue where to start. What do we start with? And so the first thing that you need is a human interpreter. There are still no automatic translation machines that will do anything like a competent job of translating a speech or a sermon or any kind of public event. So start with a human interpreter. Then what do you need?
The most popular form of translation equipment is FM radio-based equipment. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so you need a way for the interpreter's voice to get out to the people that are going to listen. So you're going to need to, effectively you're going to set up like a miniature radio station. And you're going to start out with a transmitter. And so the transmitter will send out the interpreter's voice. And this is one option. It's a small battery-powered portable transmitter. This is the Williams Sound T46, and there is an equivalent one from Listen Technologies. This is the LT700. They both work in very similar ways, do a very similar job, and they both have a range of about 150 feet. So they're great for fairly small meeting rooms and church sanctuaries, etc. Of course, being battery operated, portable, they are excellent if you need to move around while you're speaking, if you're doing a tour, a factory tour, a tour guiding, or if there's any other reason why you need to move around. But even in a stationary situation, these are often a great choice because they're usually the least expensive version, the least expensive option, and they're very simple to operate. So that's one of our favorite choices. And another one is going up a step from there. We have the Williams Sound T27. So this is what we call a tabletop transmitter. It plugs into 110 volts and it has a much bigger range. It can go up to about 1,000 feet with the right antenna. But again, it's a very simple operation. It has very few controls on it. You can change the channel and you can plug in a microphone, but that's more or less all you do with it. So it's a very simple operation. If you don't have a lot of technical staff in your event, then this might well be a good choice for a high-powered transmitter. And then the third option is this more powerful, more complex tabletop transmitter. Again, it's going to run on 110 volts, and again, with the right antenna, this has a range of about 1,000 feet. But it's also got a number of functions within the menu where you can change a lot of advanced settings, such as the compression, slope, the high pass and low pass filters, and things like that. Now, you may not know what those are, and that's okay. But if you do have somebody who knows what those terms mean, you might want something like this so that you can adjust those things. If you don't know what they are, then you might do better with one of the simpler pieces of equipment that where you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Listen Technologies again has an equivalent model. This is the LT800, the tabletop transmitter, again a range of about 1,000 feet. So you need one of those transmitters to send out the signal. And you're going to have to connect a microphone to that transmitter. And there's a range of possible choices. There is a headset microphone, a handheld microphone, a lapel mic, or probably the most popular one we find is the headband microphone. And so this goes over the head like this and goes around the ears, and the microphone automatically positions itself just off to the side of the mouth, about 3 fingers width away, which is roughly where you want it. And then it simply plugs into the transmitter if you're using the T46 or the LT700. Again, plugs straight in that. And this one also plugs in just fine into the T27. It's that works well as a combination. And there is a different version of this with a different plug that will go into the to the T45 transmitter. So those are some of your options when it comes to microphones. So now you've got your transmission side sorted out. You've got a microphone and you've got a transmitter, and that's going to send a signal out. Then the signal will be the interpreter's voice. And then the listener now needs something in order to pick up that signal. So they're going to need, in effect, a specialized radio receiver that's on a special frequency and can pick up whichever of the transmitters that you're working from. And so you're going to need some kind of receiver for each of your listeners. So this one is a very popular option. It's the Williams Sound R37 receiver. And the Williams also makes a couple of other receivers, the R37-8 and the R38. And both of these allow you to have multiple channels going on at the same time. What that means is if you have multiple interpreters, perhaps doing several different languages, you can tune each transmitter and each receiver to a different channel. So you can have up to 8 different languages going on if you're using these kind of receivers. Over on the Listen Technologies side, we again have some equivalent receivers. The LR400 is a very popular model. It is somewhat older technology now. They have the new model is the LR4200, and that is this is a really nice, well-designed unit. Just came out just about a year or so ago. One of the features I like about it is that you can recharge it here with a standard USB, mini USB plug, and the other is that it has 2 headphone jacks. So you can have 2 people who are listening to the same language, they can use the same receiver. So that helps to keep the cost down because you only need half as many. Now it is a slightly more expensive unit, but with that sharing feature, that kind of brings it down to something more reasonable. So those are your receiver options. So you've now got a transmitter with a microphone and you've got a receiver for each of your listeners. But now you need to have some kind of earpiece or headphone for each of those listeners. So we've got a few options again. We've got an ear hanger here, the Ear 8. A different model of ear hanger. This is the Ear 22, and one good thing about this is that it's all hard plastic, so you could just easily wipe this with a little alcohol swab, and you don't have any hygiene concerns with this one. There is a standard earbud with a foam cover, single earbud with a foam cover, and one of the most popular ones we find is the headphone. This is a standard headphone, the Head 21, and it goes over the head, covers both ears. Again, it does have foam covers. Those are replaceable or they're washable. And it's just kind of nice to have both ears covered so that you're kind of helping to block out any other sounds that you don't want to hear. So that's essentially it. Those are the things you need for an interpreting system. You need a transmitter with microphone, and you need a receiver with a headphone or earpiece for each of your listeners. Or if you're using that new Listen receiver, you can share the receiver between 2 listeners. There are a couple of optional extras that you might want to think about. A carrying case obviously is very helpful to keep things together and keep them in good condition. And I'm going to also show you this. It's called an interpreter control console or interpreter unit. This one is the Williams Sound IC2. And this is used in conjunction with the T45 transmitter in professional conference situations. And this allows 2 interpreters to work together as a team, which is common in professional conferences, and it allows them to switch rapidly and silently between each other, and it also gives them a headphone feed of whatever is going on stage, whatever person is speaking. So kind of a pricey accessory, not in everyone's budget, but very helpful if you're interpreting at a professional level. So that's about it. That's today's video. What is interpreting equipment? What is translation equipment? Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you on another video.